Well, good afternoon. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Thinking Tuesday. As you know, today is a special Tuesday. It's February 14th and the day when most of the world celebrate Valentine's Day. So let me wish each and every one of you a happy Valentine's Day. So for most people, Valentine's Day is a day when we intentionally focus on our romantic relationships, our romantic partners, and celebrate our love for each other. We also celebrate family and friends because those are part of our love circle. We can become as creative as we wish in expressing that love. However, for many people, flowers, especially roses and chocolate, my favorite, have become the primary symbols of love expression on Valentine's Day. But however you choose to celebrate it and express your love and appreciation, that is your individual choice, your individual creative expression. So just do you. Do you? Although we should be expressing our love daily, it is a good thing, it's really a good thing to intentionally set time aside to express our love and appreciation for others, right? I'm sure you'd all agree with that. But my message to you today comes with a specific challenge. Yes, a specific challenge. How willing are you? How willing are you to love others differently today? Not just on your terms, but unconditionally. How many of you are willing to love others unconditionally today? Not just today, but beyond today. You love them despite whatever, you fill in the blanks. You love others who don't look like you, who don't necessarily agree with you, who may espouse different values or different views than you. You might not even know them personally. Can you still love them? You might know of them. Can you love them? That's my challenge to you. That's my question to you. You might see these as just the lyrics to a song, but truly, I'm sure you all will agree. What the world needs now is love, more love, and even better, sweet love. We don't really have to look very far to see the hatred and the bullying and the strife that's running rampant in our society and, in fact, throughout the world. But at the root of all of that, I believe that there's a lack of love for each other. Otherwise, we would not be seeing the kind of cruelty, the kind of bullying, the kind of hatred that we're seeing. Intolerance and disrespect for others have replaced what we know as tolerance and respect, because we all need to be tolerant of each other and we need to respect each other. I know that there are various gradations of love. There are gradations of love. But whatever the level of love that you feel, commit yourself to loving everyone at some level. Whatever that gradation of love is, commit yourself and then challenge yourself to go beyond that. Because love is love. What a challenge. I know it's easier said than done. It's a challenge, and we don't grow unless we challenge ourselves. If each person were to make that commitment, including me, yes, including me, the world would be a much better place. We would enjoy life more. We'd not be full of stress as many of us are. Because it means going against the grain. Loving in this way Taking up this challenge means going against the grain. It means going against our natural instincts of self-preservation. Nobody wants to put themselves out there to get hurt, and I'm not saying that you should. Because our instinctual feelings are to treat others just the way they treat us, good or bad. Some people would go to quote the Bible, turn the other cheek. Oh, that's not as easy to do, easier said than done. But we're talking about trying to be tolerant of others and find some level of love that you can offer others, not just today. Because sometimes we just feel so justified in our hatred. It doesn't have to go that way. But loving someone, I hasten to say, loving someone does not mean that we accept their abusiveness. It does not at all. We should not. It does not mean that we should accept their combativeness, their negative or divisive behavior. But acknowledging them, loving them means acknowledging them as a fellow human being whose behavior and demeanor is really, really rooted in their personal history, one which they and they alone are responsible for correcting in the end. In the end, we are all responsible to interpret our history in a way, our personal history in a way that's going to make us better people. We don't necessarily forget, we might forgive, but we have to come out being a better person at the end, no matter what our personal history. But most of all today, I'm talking about others, but most of all, I want you to commit to loving who? Yourself. Commit to loving yourself with all your faults, all your imperfections, because none of us is perfect. We're all imperfect, striving for perfection. And as long as we're striving for it, we're doing well. It's a win. We're all still becoming. We're not there yet, we're coming. And as the old folks used to say, God is not through with me yet. So there is absolutely no finish line in self-improvement. There should not be. We should be looking at ways to improve ourselves each day, trying to be better than the day before. But it has to begin with self. Then it can benefit others. So what's your love relationship with yourself? What is that? Think for a moment. What is your real love relationship with yourself? Today is Valentine's Day. Include yourself in that. Our ability to love ourselves really begins with, or to love others, really begins with our ability to love ourselves. Self-love is where it begins. And sometimes, in some cases, we must begin with our ability or our willingness to borrow someone else's love for us. Many times that's where it starts. Or someone else's expression of appreciation of how they see us. We don't often see ourselves the way other people see us. They may see great things in us that we don't see. Or someone else's ability to see us more than what we might see in ourselves. So sometimes it begins with borrowing that love that's expressed to us by someone else. This can really be the springboard for us to begin to love ourselves. Whatever you can do to begin to love yourself until it becomes yours. Let me suggest a simple but impactful, very impactful daily exercise to begin to instill self-love is to allow yourself to take a good look at yourself in the mirror. Yes, I know we do, but many times it's just cosmetic or cursory. We take a glance. But allow yourself to take a good, intentional look at yourself in the mirror. And as you look at yourself in the mirror, I want you to do exactly this. You want to have a big smile on your face, and you want to say deliberately, I love you and your name. So it would be a big smile. I love Cheryl Burton. Looking in the mirror and then patting yourself on the back. Big smile. I love Cheryl Burton, and a pat in the back, on the back. This might sound silly to you. It might even look silly at first glance. It might. But when you're trying something for the first time, it might feel awkward, as this might. It might sound silly. It might look silly, especially if you're not accustomed to intentionally giving this type of attention to yourself. But it's very, very important. But that simple act of smiling, I love you and your name, and a pat on the back, causes your body to release dopamine, which is known as that happy hormone that rewards our brain. It makes us feel real good. Whenever you do something and you feel good, it's because your dopamine is being released by your body to your brain. And it makes you feel good, and it wants you to repeat that activity again. So you will find that that awkwardness that you feel might be awkward initially, but as you do it regularly, as you do that exercise daily, regularly, you might want to do it twice a day. The more your dopamine is expelled through your body into your brain, makes you feel good. Then you want to do it again. The brain says, do it again. It rewards the brain. So your awkwardness, if when you feel awkward, and you certainly might feel awkward, will be a sign that you need to come face to face with yourself more often, because you're not used to doing that. Become more comfortable with speaking positively to yourself, and also sorry about that. Forgot to put my phone on mute. But yes, it makes you feel more comfortable as you are speaking to yourself. You are speaking to yourself and feeling more comfortable each time you do that. Some might find it easier to do that with others than you find it to do it with yourself. But you're also deserving of the same love that you speak into others. You are worthy of that. You know, this is where that saying, if you've heard it before, where attention goes, energy flows, or where intention goes, energy flows. And that comes into play because as we focus on ourselves and express self-love, we begin to feel something different. The energy expands, because energy always seeks to expand and express itself. We begin to tune into feelings that we have not felt before. We begin to see ourselves as worthy of more love than we might have given ourselves credit for. Just think about that. We begin to develop little by little a different and possibly a deeper, most likely a deeper relationship with ourselves. Maybe raising questions about who we are. Who am I? What is my potential? Where would I like to improve now that we're feeling better about ourselves? We're feeling good. We're getting hints that we deserve more than we've been giving ourselves. Who are we becoming? Who are we capable of becoming? Those are some questions that might begin to become apparent as you begin to do that exercise, as you turn inward and become more comfortable with yourself, begin to give yourself more love and show appreciation for who you are with all your faults and imperfections, like I said before. But looking very intently at yourself in the mirror brings you face to face with the external features, but it also helps you to go deeper into your self-perception, raises those kinds of questions like I just mentioned. So just dote on yourself. Dote on yourself and accept what you're seeing and sit in the feelings that are emerging. Sit in the feelings that are emerging. Become familiar with who you are. Because we spend so much time getting to know others, loving others, and we spend little time, really, in comparison, getting to know ourselves. And that's where it should begin. Get rid of the thoughts about what you don't like about yourself. That's not the time for that. There will be other times when you want to focus on that, because if you don't know what you need to change, you won't change. But there'll be enough time for that. But today, and through that exercise, I want you to just dote on yourself. Get rid of those thoughts about what you don't like about yourself. This is time to feel positively about you and to develop that comfort level about appreciating who you are. Because self-love starts begin. I mean, some of you might know the song by Mary J. Blige, Good Morning Gorgeous. Good Morning Gorgeous is a self-affirmation. Mary J. Blige is saying, I love myself, I'm gorgeous. Whatever you choose to tell yourself, but you want to tell yourself, I love myself. So if you like that song, if you love that song, that's what that's all about. You have to see it, you got to feel it, and you have to say it. You have to say it and feel it, believe it. Because self-love begins within. Committing to loving and appreciating yourself is the best thing that you could ever do for your own growth. So commit to loving and appreciating yourself. And I guess you thought I might have forgotten to repeat our weekly motto for Thinking Tuesday. I did not. And it is, your mind is a garden and your thoughts are the seeds. And you, yes, you can choose to grow flowers or you can choose to grow weeds. And this definitely applies to today's message because I am challenging you to think differently, to cultivate positive thoughts, to allow you to love beyond what feels comfortable, and to speak positive words to yourself. So choose the thoughts, choose the words that you're going to use to cultivate that self-love. Allow your thoughts of love to go beyond what feels comfortable and speak positive words to yourself. As you change your thoughts intentionally, and as you speak those words intentionally, you change the way you feel. And we know that as you change your feelings, they're going to impact your action. So you change your thoughts and you change your view, you change your life. So happy Valentine's Day to all of you. Enjoy yourself, dote on yourself as you're doting on others. Share this if it's of value to you with someone who you feel could benefit from it. You can find my previous Thinking Tuesday messages on my YouTube channel, Thinking Tuesday, Cheryl Burton. And of course, I will invite you to visit my website, drcherylburton.com, to see all of the programs and services that I offer. Feel free to contact me through my website, drcherylburton.com, for a complimentary consultation if you're facing any challenges that you might need help with. You may also book me to speak through my website for your organizations and your events. I just look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at noon. It will not be Valentine's Day as today, but it will still be Valentine's Day because it's all about loving yourself, loving others, and being the best that you can be as you find yourself and be able to appreciate yourself and love yourself, get to know yourself in a way that you might not have before. So take care. I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at noon, right here, for another message on Thinking Tuesday. Take care and bye for now. See you next week.